that's just a thing.
Well, I suppose the Germans are sort of reaction dropping. Something you do in squads and duos where you look and see what's free. And because the Greeks are going out instantly, obviously, the bit at the end of the plane is where it's free. But we're going to see them focus on that southern side. And we've seen in Wingman and Nations Royale so far that we've been watching that there's been 2 circles that have been popping up all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And that's been sort of the Bendita East circles and a Monte Nuevo Western circle. So I wonder if we're going to see one of those again, where it's going to be a bit of an attack versus defense game.
Yeah, that'll be quite interesting when when it's 32 versus 32, not just duos, right? So we'll see how like a big squad, another northern set. This is like an Oasis kind of. Yeah, there we go.
I would love to see that.
That'd be
absolute chaos with 32 v 32 up in there.
Wow. Okay.
I'm looking at that, and the German roster last game had an opportunity to sort of cut off the Greeks from the circle. And now this game, I'm sort of looking at this and think maybe the Greeks can set up on that central hill and maybe towards even Torre Armada if they can get up there fast enough and just create like a wall and just sort of lock that German team in. It's something that, as I said, the Germans should have done last game and didn't. But maybe this is the time where the Greeks will recognise that that's a possibility at least.
Yeah, I think you could be right there. Yeah, if they take the advantage and try and push the issue towards Germany, then it could be quite interesting. You got obviously got the wall on the northern side there, so that's inaccessible land past that wall, and then the Oasis. It doesn't really look that nice of an Oasis, really. To us, you think of Oasis as like a luxury area to chill out, and this just looks like I don't know. Yeah.
Also, like historically, Oasis the point of them was that they're like drinking water and stuff, and that water is kind of dirty, kind of grimy.
Murky,
so I'm not sure I'd want to drink from it, but
yeah, I think I'll skip that.
Luckily, this isn't a survival game where you need to drink, so everyone should be fine.
I thought you were going to say it's not a survival game. I was like, well, but
sort of.
Yeah, I mean, this ain't no Daisy, is it, right? But Germany, they're looting up around Minas, and you can see they're in El Azahar as well. That's the usual looting town of G2, so they're used to this area anyway. Although, I mean, it looks like the main G2 roster's in Picado, so, or some of them anyway. But it looks like they're no one's really making their way in there. Everyone's chilling. The circle's about to start shifting in as well.
I expect we'll see a lot of the German players head up to that Torre Armada area and maybe try and progress into the center of the circle on the north side, because I expect the hills will become inaccessible very quickly as all those players from San Martin and La Cabrera try to move in quite quickly for the Greek roster. So I think we'll see a sort of northeast to southwest divide in this phase 1.
Yep, 100%. I think you're quite right there. I'd like to see some kind of. I would love to see some kind of cutoff where a team sends out like groups of 4 or something to try and camp rotations or whatever. They kind of sacrifice their selves maybe, or try and get away, or just cut off like a whole group of players. And
I remember back into, I think it was the last season of Nations Royale, we had, I think it was, I want to say Germany versus Norway, and Germany had this sort of 6-man death stack that anyone that they saw that dropped a little bit separated from the Greeks, this little death stack just drove straight to it and just grabbed a couple of kills at the start of the game. But it looks like they're not going to go for that strategy. At least they haven't done it in the first 2 games. But that is because they're splitting, like dropping very separated.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I know. I'm not going to say G2 is kind of faulting their strategy upon this group, but I know that G2 likes to spread out a lot and get angles and try and get information and just different angles on the enemies. And I mean, it kind of works for squads, although I mean it hasn't worked recently for G2 unfortunately. But I don't think it'll work here really.
It's interesting to see how some teams are sort of applying their squads mentality to the 32v32 that we have, because I think Turkey is a region that a lot of their teams sort of rely on their teamwork. Yeah. Particularly DA in PEL. I don't mean to be offensive to them because they are great mechanical players, but I mean when you look at PEL, they're not the players that stand out as mechanically great, and yet for quite a long time they were still finishing fairly decently, and that was a lot of the time because they were just such a cohesive unit. Yeah. And I think that's something we've already seen on the Turkish side. And maybe we're seeing that sort of individualistic style from G2 being applied to this Nations Royale team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the sort of leadership roles have come into play. That's for sure. And you see the whole G2. God darn it. the whole Germany.
I'm going to be doing that all
team.
night.
Yeah. I've kind of got into a habit of it now. The whole Germany roster looks like they're heading in as kind of a stacked unit, which is quite nice to see. They're all sort of coming in all together. Kind of different to what they were doing in the the first Erangel game, where there was loads of splits up players. Trimpson knocking a true believer.
Oh, I've got a pretty saucy crate on the screen. That is enough, an org and an orm together. That is exactly what you want. I mean, in my opinion, that is the best gun combination you can have in the game.
Yeah.
But you 2 tac stocks just to be a bit pointless.
Yeah.
Neither of those guns use tac stock, obviously. But one thing I want to point out is I really like this movement by Poolman and Seeker Beast to take that initial control, because as well, some of the Greek players starting to come up to the north. They're presenting this line that the German players can't come through, which is denying that entire western side to the team.
Look at that! It's like friggin' Star Wars over here in this up on this hill. But but again, like as you see, Germany have taken the lower ground here, and it's. I mean, we saw what happened last time, and it's looks like Greece have full control of the center map side.
I wonder if maybe Germany will recognise that the south side is relatively empty, the water treatment area, and try and try and flank it in the end. But that is a very Greek-centric circle. The entire eastern side pretty much denied to Germany. So now it's all about, do you crash? I wonder if maybe they're going to create a bit of a death stack on the north and try and pick off those straggling Greek players. It does certainly look like they're going to go north, or whether they recognise that southern rotation is possible.
Yeah, it looks like they're all turning around. Looks like Breitska's called the free area on the southern side of water treatment, but at the same time, it's not that great of a spot because the north of that is still uphill. And
once again, the Greeks have the control of that high ground, and I wonder if maybe once they recognise all those German players are going south, that they move west onto the second hill, just to the south of Oasis, and just control those 2 points of the high ground and prevent any German movement up.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like any German movement that they do, the Greeks will be first to counter it, and if they're quick, they can easily just completely block off any possible movement from the German players and put so much pressure on that there's no way they'll even get anywhere close to where they want to.
Actually, manic procession. I don't think I've ever seen so many cars so close in a PUBG game, but they're all coming around to this water treatment area. And they have no map control at all. There's like 4 German players actually in the circle. And we see now the Greek players are starting to move south, starting to sort of present a defensive line on those hilltops and prevent any further movement for the Germans. And it looks like maybe the Germans are going to go for a bit of aggression here onto the hill.
That's quite interesting. I'm glad to see them sort of take an early fight. This could be. I mean the fight that this sort of again starts it off. But on the edge of the circle, and I want to say that, I mean, the circle's moving in now. If it goes anywhere sort of north, then Germany's going to have to move again.
But the problem here is it's like 32 v 10. So like we saw for Germany last game, where a group of their players got sort of picked off, there's a lot of Greek players that are not involved in this fight. I want to see maybe the northern players start to come east and try to get a flank on these people trying to go up the hill. But if the German players can go fast enough up this hill, they're going to be at such a massive advantage.
Yeah, 100%. I expect to see lots of smokes coming out. Okay. So the circle does shift south, which actually gives Germany a bit more time to make this push happen.
But it looks like the Greeks are actually going to aggress back, and we're going to have a big engagement on this eastern side. There's already that initial knock on to Gideon, and that may be the sign to go.
Yeah, nades coming out. Jansen's pulled up on his buggy. He's looking for some sort of flank position towards the northern side. He's actually pushing on his own up towards the northern part of the compound here.
There's just actually, I think, 2 knocks in the favour of Germany now, so potentially looking for a way to make this engagement happen. Payne's going to Stavranos running completely in the open. That spray down, can he land it? Not quite, and actually Quiet comes in and saves his life, but Payne's did get the knock. Whether the res can come in, I'm not sure. Oh, Jansen's completely split off from the German roster now.
Yeah, Mobsy's he's trying to defend his northern position here, and there's not much Jansen can really do about it. He's still low health, but managing to push in slightly. I think if he gets in here, he might cause some issues to the group roster here.
Yeah, and unlike last game, the initial knocks are not in favour of one team. It's only a 1-player advantage at the minute for Germany. Proper sneak attack going on by Jansen here.
Yeah, I mean I like it because if he gets into the the enemy lines, he can properly do some damage. That's for sure. Takes down one at a time and just keeps picking away at the numbers of Greece. And I mean,
does he know the guys on the roof?
I think he has an idea. He must have heard. I'm not sure that as pure sauce somebody up top there. But yeah, it looks like Greece are already 4 down compared to the Germany's 30.
Ooh, I think his Zaga's dropped down now, and I'm not sure I'm not sure Janssen rather has any idea. He's going to come out the side. He's going to spot him. Can he get the spray down? No, Zaga actually gets the kill.
Wow, that's impressive turnaround from Zaga. That solid stuff. Janssen goes down, so that's their kind of inside man down already for Germany.
Well, that's a very blue and white kill feed going the way of Greece, but they are at a slight disadvantage. We see 26 to 28, looking to bring it back. But this is a much closer game than we saw last time.
For sure, Memo. He's kind of pushed up a bit further towards this western side, and you see actually on the map. Oh wow, the circle shifts north, and Greece have full control, and they're kind of essentially holding out Germany from that central side. But the numbers are still slightly in favour of Germany.
Yeah, but once again, we're seeing that sort of concave come in for the Greek team. And if they could start making a little portable red zone here, there are so many players sort of stuck in this tiny dip. Yeah. If they have that utility, they can start to make it rain. But it actually looks like it's the German team that are just about getting on the up now, but suddenly 2 knocks come in quickly, sort of returning the favour.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of Molotovs there.
Yeah, so that's just like they're just trying to burn them out. I think. Looks like he's going to go for the Res Burbank onto Nelos there, and lots of flashes coming in from the Greek side, and looks like Greek is now up in terms of numbers with 2 plus.
Yeah, we didn't quite see it on the stream, but there was a big engagement on the south side where there was something like, I think, 6 German players versus like 10 Greek players.
Wow.
And it fully went in the favour of the Greeks. It was something like a 6-to-1 trade, I think. So that really swung the numbers, and suddenly Germany's at a big disadvantage once again.
Yeah, they're cornered. They're on the back foot as well, and
they're all stuck in a valley as well. Yeah. And we have players on either side of it for the Greeks, so there's no cover whatsoever. They need to sort of try and find a way in, but it looks like it's not happening for now.
Yeah, no, I mean, when they gressed on the compound's slightly outside, and it looks like they're trying to sort of back off somehow, somewhere, or just trying to spread out so they can get some more angles. Because they're all just grouped up, as you said, in this little dip. Oh, nice shots from Quiet there. Let's get the knock, and
we'll spot the second player. Ixtris goes down to Dixter, who grabs his second kill, but his 3rd knock of the game. That's a speculative spray. I respect the confidence. That's when you've just had a really good gunfight and you just think you can hit every shot.
Yeah.
But he actually gets another knock there. He's doing work, and now it's just a blue flood. Once again, the Greeks are starting to snowball, and it's all going their favour at the minute. A 10-player disadvantage for Germany now.
Yeah, Fretsu goes down as well. Sneaky Astral Beer Bank. It's just so many Germans dying at the kill feed. It's actually kind of sad to watch, really. But
Greece having a game and a half. He's on like 6 kills now already.
Absolutely,
it's a big one for him.
He's solid stuff there. 24 HP though.
Oh, the pans are out. The pans are out.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. No, they're not actually just going to kill them. They're going to straight up just batter them. 20 to 0. 20 still alive for Greece. They only lost